howdy. Welcome. This is another episode of Pony 411. This is episode 57 for the week of June 1st, 2014. I'm Nemesis, and joining me yet again is Alca7raz.
Hello.
And we got quite a bit of news to talk about. We got a comic. We got some fan content. But our main discussion, we kind of go a little back to the past a bit. Further back than we did last time, so...
Yeah.
Wonder what that could be? Well, you'll find out soon. But, yeah. First, of course, we got some news to start off with. And if you want to follow along, you can always go to pony411.libsyn.com/show-notes, and it will have all the links and whatnot there for you. So let's get going. Thanks to some successful crowdfunding, Galacon has been able to get more guests. They've announced The Living Tombstone, Crikey Dave, Jan Animations, and Shady Vox.
Yay.
Buck has announced some more vendors for their con. The list is kind of long, so go check out their site if you want to see. Yeah, so stuff like plushies and whatnot. BronyCon has announced that Claire Corlett, the voice of Sweetie Belle, will be attending, along with her father, Ian James Corlett, who voiced Silver Shill in Season 4.
Yep.
An older pony fan game, Super Smash Ponies, recently put out a devlog explaining why they disappeared for so long and what's going on with the project. Plus, a release date has been revealed, January 1st, 2015.
It's an interesting choice of date, but
Yeah,
alright.
well, kind of far-ish away, but...
Gives them a bit of time to work on things.
Yeah. Basically, they're explaining, it's basically...
They had to redo stuff from
We
scratch.
had to restart a lot of stuff just because it was becoming a huge mess. It was just becoming unmanageable. Anyway, apparently, ponies have appeared in the recently released game, Watch Dogs, particularly as keychains in some cars. More particularly, Trixie and Rainbow Dash.
Yep.
Rainbow Dash is in a very particular position, too.
Yeah, it's the pose
The MLP
from...
thing.
Well, Horse News uses it.
Yes.
But it's from
You probably know what it is.
Dragon Shy,
Yeah.
right before she jumps in the air. I think there was also an EQD reference on one of the engines.
Who cares about that, though?
Yeah.
The first wave of pop figures have been revealed in their packaging. So, so the packaging, the figures. So, so you get singles, you get the sets with come with accessories, you get the dual pony sets and whatnot. So, I'm not sure when exactly, but 2014 says the re-release date worldwide. Don't know pricing yet. Yeah, now we're getting more and more details on these things.
Yep.
Gameloft, in a transparent effort to drive more traffic to their Facebook page for the game, has stated that they'll be revealing upcoming plans for their MLP game based on how many likes they've received. The first two tiers have already been hit, revealing a Sweet Apple Acres expansion and new ponies from the Apple family, such as Babsy, to be added.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with that game
Transparent
much
effort,
anymore,
and
but...
it's going to work because we're going to be linking you to it in the show notes. Ha!
Yep.
Speaking of games, if you're still actively using an Xbox 360, there's more pony stuff available for your avatar. There's a fanboy costume, which is interesting looking, a Discord costume, which is interesting looking, and a derpy pet. If those don't sound silly to you, go check them out.
I think interesting is a bad choice of words. I think creepy would be more fitting.
Yeah.
That Discord costume is just almost
looking.
nightmare-inducing.
Hot Topic now has some MLP posters for sale. Go check out the nearest store if you're interested. And yeah, one of them's a cast poster, one of them's a comic cover, and the other one is the main six.
Yeah.
It appears that a pony version of Monopoly Junior is joining Pony Monopoly pretty soon. And if you don't know what Monopoly Junior is, it's a dumbed-down version of Monopoly that's designed to be a little simpler and be a little faster.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, doesn't take much to be faster than a normal game of Monopoly.
Yeah. They just kind of removed a couple rules. Yeah, it just goes faster. I also believe you can't actually go bankrupt. It's weird. Anyway, 2 more Funko Pony figures have been teased over on the Funko Fanatic forums. They are Rarity, rounding out the main 6, and Daring Do.
Interesting.
So look for those soon. Yeah, it's just right now it's prototypes of the eyeless, creepy ones, monocolored ones.
Yeah, it's just the base plastic with no extra painting.
Yeah. So yeah, that means the main 6 are now, once Rarity's out, that means the main 6 will be done.
Yep.
So who knows where they go from there, but I don't think they have any plans of stopping anytime soon. These are pretty popular.
Maybe they'll make a sunset one.
Believe!
I've already got my Rainbow Dash, so I'm happy.
In news that isn't directly pony related, but still affects us, the online store Amazon and the publisher Hachette are currently having a dispute, resulting in Hachette books being currently unorderable on Amazon. This includes the upcoming The Journal of the Two Sisters and the Daring Do collection. If you already had a pre-order in place, I think it's prior to May 22nd, but I'm not totally certain, you're probably fine, but there may be a slight delay in actually getting them, as in you may take a couple weeks or more to actually get the books from when they come out.
Yeah.
If you haven't ordered yet, you have to go elsewhere, like Barnes & Noble, who coincidentally, quote unquote, have significantly marked down both of those books to a pretty decent discount. So even if you already had an Amazon pre-order, it's cheaper now to go to Barnes & Noble. Just know that unlike Amazon, they require you to pay up front.
Yeah, I got my pre-order with Barnes & Noble.
There's also your indie bookstores and whatnot you can go to if you want to do it that way. But yeah, it's just basically the two businesses are kind of squabbling. It's kind of affecting us, so you kind of have to just deal with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, yeah, that Journal of True Sisters coming out in a couple weeks. It's almost here.
Yep. Have to wait for mine.
No, wait. And just slightly over a week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Prepare for a discussion on that. Anyway, the winners of the Leo Awards for Best Overall Sound and Best Musical Score have been announced. We talked about this a while back now. And here we go, because I'm going to... Oh, God, this name is going to probably... I'm going to butcher it. Marcel Duperrault, Todd Araki, Jason Fredrickson, and Adam McGee won Best Overall Sound for Power Ponies, and Daniel Ingram and Stephen Andrews won Best Musical Score, although for Littlest Pet Shop. So congrats to all of them.
Yep.
Yeah, and in that thing, Daniel Ingram and Stephen Andrews were competing basically against themselves for Pinky Pride.
Interesting.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of Daniel Ingram, though, he has formed a new company called Smash Music Productions, bringing Stephen Andrews and Trevor Hoofman with him. Right now, their Facebook page is just full of stuff like, hey, we've done this stuff like My Little Pony and Littlest Pet Shop and whatnot. So, yeah, you might want to keep an eye on them, if you're a fan of his work or their work. Because, let's be honest, a lot of you are.
Yep, they do good work.
And more music stuff. One of the composers of the MLP background music, Kelly Davidson, has put up some of her work on SoundCloud, including pony stuff. So go check that out. And one of the tracks I noticed was actually Breezy stuff, so... Not sure how much of it, all of it is hers, but apparently she's a fairly recent addition or something. That's why I gleaned from it, so. Finally, out of music, Sibsy has revealed on Twitter that storyboard work for Season 5 of MLP has already begun.
Yay.
Yeah, it's already moving along, that storyboard, which means they're going to be working out how all the scenes will work, and then they're going to start animating.
Yep.
So it's getting closer. Well, to being done, it's still going to be a while before we actually get to see them.
Yes.
A long while. Anyway, according to the Latin voice of Sunset Shimmer, she'll be getting a song of her own, most likely in Rainbow Rocks, but I noticed they kind of left that part out, but I'm assuming Rainbow Rocks.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Cause she actually sings in Season 5 or something. That would be a...
Wait, you have to bring her into Equestria, because she's
hard,
still...
though. That wouldn't be hard to do at all.
It would make more sense for it to be Rainbow Rock.
Yeah, it makes more sense, but let a guy dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's the next short we'll see for Rainbow Rocks.
I hope
they need a lead singer. So they'll explain where Twilight's going to be, but...
I don't know, apparently Sunset doesn't appear in the book that the shorts are based off, so...
Interesting.
Or the book that the shorts are... I don't know. The book's based off the shorts or something. Either which way. She doesn't appear. So who knows. But yeah, that's the news. Kind of blew through that a lot, but not really a lot to talk about in particular.
Yep.
So anyway, we have a discussion, and I teased a little bit, but I didn't tell you what it was. Going back to the past. Imagine, if you will, a different era. Return of the Jedi came out last summer. Back to the Future's coming out next summer. Ronald Reagan's running for re-election. DeLorean Motor Company is bankrupt and dead.
Aww.
And some show comes on called My Little Pony, and it's called Rescue at Midnight Castle. Or it's Rescue from Midnight Castle. Or Escape from Midnight Castle. Or later on, Firefly's Adventure. Yeah, it's got a lot of names.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The original version of My Little Pony. The premiere. First exposure to the franchise for many little girls, and to be honest, a handful of guys.
Yep.
As I've found out over the last few years. Yeah, that was a thing 30 years ago, and we're talking about it now.
Yes.
The original My Little Pony. And probably a lot of you probably haven't seen it because, let's be honest, the previous generations have gotten a lot of flack.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't really
some more than others, but
give it a chance. Some people have, but you probably haven't seen it. So basically, okay, ponies are playing around, and then, oh crap, dragon things
Yep.
start coming and trying to grab them, and a couple of them captured and taken to Lord Tirak. Tirak. Yeah.
Tirak.
Tirak. Yeah, they pronounce it totally differently. And he's trying to turn them into dragons so they can pull his chariot. And Firefly is fed up with this and goes to get help. And she encounters a human named Megan, who she drags back with her.
Yeah.
And they go off to go stop Tirak. And they encounter Moochik, who gives them the Rainbow of Light. And they go to Tirak's castle. And he has his Rainbow of Darkness, which is what's turning the ponies into dragons. And they try to stop him. There's a little bit of, a scuffle. Tirak is defeated. And, yeah, that's a pretty basic synopsis.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. This was 30 years ago.
This was 30 years ago.
Okay, I just want to start off. What did you think of it overall?
I was surprised. It wasn't as bad as I was originally expecting it to be. Now, some things didn't surprise me. Some things did fit what I was thinking. But overall, it wasn't horrible. I will say that. It wasn't horrible. Right. As an overall feel, yeah.
Yeah. Long-time listeners probably remember way back we did an episode on the My Little Pony, the movie from back in 1986. So I was kind of had an idea of what to expect from that, because I watched that. And so, yeah, this was a 22-minute pilot, basically, for the first series of ponies. And, yeah, it's definitely not horrible, but it's not too great either.
Yes.
It fits the same thing as the original pony movie, which was it's kind of bland.
Yep.
I don't think it's as bad as I think, honestly, the actual pony movie is kind of worse. But this still isn't that great. It's like it's okay to watch. However, one thing I've noticed, most of the voice acting pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. The voice acting, yeah.
I think honestly the best three were Tirak, Moochik, and Firefly. Honestly, had probably the best, probably in that order, best actors.
Yes.
The rest were very.
I will agree.
Spike was annoying.
Oh
again.
God, Spike was annoying.
Yeah, I already knew about that, but oh wow, yeah, it's a really annoying voice.
The voices all sound, they're all high pitched, they're all cutesy, whiny, cutesy. It's like, yeah.
And sometimes, one Scorpan appears. Yes. And the thing is, there's one line in particular, the voice actor sounded like he wasn't really sure what he was reading or something. He kind of hesitated, like kind of really stilted manner. So.
What the heck am I reading?
Yeah. It's kind of weird how, watching it though, you see
the parallels.
The inspiration that Falcon Company got from this.
That's one thing I was definitely noticing.
But there's also significant differences.
You could easily see where they drew inspiration from. You could see all the parallels. You could see some things that they changed.
For the better.
For the better.
For
example, when Scorpan got a little bit retconned.
Yeah.
Here, he wasn't Tirak's brother. He was a human prince that got turned into that.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
But he was still not a totally bad dude. Just like
no, he was forced into it.
Yeah. At one point, you see the beginnings of that when he actually kind of stops Megan from hitting the ground and just, whatever. Then drops her. Is like, don't interfere.
Yes.
He actually saves her, but yeah. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, like in Twilight's Kingdom, Scorpan is revealed he kind of started to like the ponies and wants Tirak to stop. Hey, we shouldn't do this, man.
So they definitely pulled that from here.
Yeah, it's pulled it from here. It's like he's just in this to protect Spike.
Yeah, which is
not exactly a noble goal, but
there's a whole bunch of. I can definitely see. I always knew that Rainbow Dash's personality was supposed to come from Firefly, but never seeing this, I see it now, and definitely, I can see where she pulled that from.
It's more muted though in the original.
It is a lot more muted.
But you can see.
I can definitely see where they got it from.
Spunk got a bit of kind of daring.
Yep.
Doesn't always listen to people.
Yep. I live for danger. Yes. There's a lot of problems though.
Yeah.
One thing, apparently, sacrificing story in order to fit into a 22-minute time frame is not unique to FIM. It started all the way back here too.
Yeah. It went very fast.
Holy crap! Like nothing was explained.
Nothing. Nothing. It's just like this is happening. Deal with it.
Firefly goes to the human world. How?
Why?
No clue.
How? Why?
She just shows up. You're coming with me. Why?
Why does she think that one human girl would make all that difference? Why? You know.
No clue.
Why and what's the rainbow of light? Where'd it come from? Why does
no clue? Moochick. How do we know about
Who
Moochick?
the heck is Moochick?
Who the heck? How does this sea ponies? Where the heck did they come from?
Scooby-Doo.
Shooby-Doo. Yeah.
Yeah. Call upon the sea ponies.
Oh, it was like, wait, what? All of this out of nowhere.
Yeah, it just kind of that's the thing. It just kind of goes through and just kind of that nothing's really well explained. No, the characterization is. But the only character who got really any characterization was Firefly, and that was Barry and Scorpion. Really, almost no one else really got any decent characterization. We don't know really anything about them. And not only that, one time Spike refers to one of the ponies by name. It's like, where did you get her name from?
I don't know. This is just.
How do you know her name?
Yeah. One thing I thought was kind of funny. Apparently, Applejack always gets the short end of the stick.
Applejack. Yep, Applejack. Who, by the way, speaking of which, her personality is completely different from FIM's.
Mm-hmm.
In FIM, she's dependable and strong. In this original, she was silly and clumsy.
Who's a silly pony?
Yeah, that's actually apparently from a radio thing. I looked that up.
Yeah.
It's not radio. I guess one of those recorded stories that they used to have.
But yeah, she's always getting the short end of the stick too, falling off the bridge and then getting captured, and it's like,
yeah.
Oh, apparently some things don't change.
Yeah, but other things do. Like personality is completely different.
Yeah.
And also, hey, look, Twilight's there, but it's Twilight Twinkle.
Twilight Twinkle, the original.
Yeah, the original Twilight, who also teleports. But
apparently she has difficulty.
To say,
I wish.
And then poof.
The first, yeah, it was kind of funny when she first started doing that in the intro. I wish, with all my heart. Wait, no, that's a different one. To fly with joy. No, no.
But yeah, so like again, it's like a lot of these they're just kind of there again. No personality. Voice work is shoddy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that shoddy.
Yes.
Again, going back to the kind of an inspiration, it's like, but like again, Scorpion was obviously the whole Scorpion's not totally evil was inspired by this, although they did it very differently. Like, oh hey, Scorpion's actually human, whereas they don't do that in FIM.
No, there are no humans.
No humans in Equestria.
Yeah, they don't. That was a very specific thing Lauren wanted for FIM.
Yeah.
No humans.
Yeah. And again, so it's like you got three characters. Apparently, another one who's apparently bow tied, and they didn't even catch her name, but that's her name apparently.
Oh.
But yeah, it was so you had Firefly and then it's kind of weird. Like story wise, Megan is like, okay, you just go to Megan, and one human girl is somehow going to make all this difference. And how is this a thing? Oh my god.
Yes.
And then imagine it just kind of speeds through. Nothing's explained. No, like what is this rainbow of light? Why does this dude have it? Why is it able to defeat Tirak?
Yes.
Tirak, okay, he had a really good villainous voice.
Yes.
Like, villain voice. That was a pretty darn good villain voice, but
he petted his bag of rainbow of darkness like it was a cat. That was a little odd.
Yeah.
That'll have their creepy side.
Oddities. But that's another thing. Is like, but why was he here? Is he just wants to take over? I guess.
Oh, and that's another parallel. His ultimate goal was an eternal night. Where have we heard that before?
Yeah, he wanted to bring eternal night. Why? Why is he doing this? There is no explanation. It's just he's evil.
Yep.
Like Nightmare Moon, we have a reason. She felt jealous and she wanted ponies to appreciate her night.
Yep.
Tirek, he wanted to take all the magic in Equestria. He just wanted power because, well, just some people lust for power.
Yes.
Although you could kind of make the argument for this version of Tirek, because the pronunciation is different because of reasons.
Hey, this is the original though. We can't shame them.
Yeah, I know. But it's just kind of interesting that they don't really give him any motivation. He's just doing this just because. It's like, why does he need ponies to be turned into dragons to pull his chariot? What's the point of that? So apparently, so he can open the Rainbow of Darkness or something and do more stuff. I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's just stuff is very poorly explained.
Rushed to the highest degree is what it feels like.
And also, aesthetically, again, as I think I said this back when I talked about the G1 movie. Aesthetically, it just does not look good. The aesthetics aren't great.
Yeah, they're not that great. I think I've seen worse, but yeah.
G3.
Yeah. What little I've seen of G3, it's...
The songs are boring.
I don't even remember them.
Exactly. There's 3 songs. They're boring.
Yeah.
Although, except for Well Shooby-Doo kind of sticks in your head.
Unfortunately.
Yep. Just because of what it is.
It's rememberable for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. And also, if anything, you're going to be the Rainbow of Light? Deus Ex Machina. Like,
seriously.
Incarnate. It's like, it's not even explained. It's just there. Where'd it come from? Who made it? How is it able to stop T-Rex? Where did T-Rex even get this Rainbow of Darkness? What the heck is going on? Yeah, again, just more what the heck is going on. Nothing is explained properly.
Mm-hmm. MacGuffin to the highest degree.
Yep. And then Megan, she was there just for, like, it's one of those things where it's like in Transformers, they add the human characters for the audience to relate to, even though they're not really needed.
Yeah.
At the time, though, they just thought, we need a human character for the audience to relate to, and she's kind of useless. She thought she protested that I can't do anything, and she was kind of right. She didn't really do much.
She was right the
All
whole
she did
time.
was open that thing with the Rainbow of Light, and it's like anyone could have done that.
It's so small. Yeah, that was a funny.
Oh, kind of sad. And then, although it's like, T-Rex just keeps getting defeated by rainbows.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. See, it's interesting. Yeah, you can see the genesis. You can see where they drew inspiration for FIM, but you can also see where it's like, this is stupid. Let's make this better.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's flesh this out, because like FIM's origin, the pilot, in a single episode, they very quickly were able to show all 6 of the main ponies, their personalities, very quickly and succinctly. And it's like, okay, I get who they are now. Whereas this, it's like you get one pony who has a barely kind of as a personality, and the rest are just kind of there.
Yep.
It's disappointing, because I just remember hearing Twilight. I go, what? Twilight? Oh yeah, Twilight.
Yep.
Oh, every single time they said everybody, I just kept expecting to hear every pony. When I did, I was like thrown off for a second. I got so used to that.
So used to every pony.
Just what? Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. They didn't start doing that.
Although one funny thing is they used to call teleporting winking, and they stopped for reasons. Very, very good reasons I will not get into at all. Go look it up if you want to, but just be very, very careful.
Yeah.
Don't look it up in public.
Don't look it up in public.
So, yeah. Just kind of boring. Spike is annoying, just like he is now. So that's one.
More annoying.
Yeah, but at least they toned it down. But the whole annoying thing stayed around.
Yep.
Alas. Apparently, though, he's even worse in G3. We'll find out.
Oh god.
We will find out.
Oh god.
Foreboding. That's really ominous.
That is. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, you think it's bland?
Yeah, I think it was fairly bland. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
Yeah.
For never seeing any of the G1 stuff, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. But it's definitely not something I'm going to start watching.
Right. Yeah,
unless I absolutely have to.
That was my kind of reaction for G1 movie, was just, it's very bland. It's not as bad it's nowhere near as bad as a lot of people think it is. But yeah, people have this idea, there's this stigma in the fandom right now that anything pre-G4 is just automatically terrible no matter what. And the thing is, I think G1 its biggest sin is just incredibly bland. And that's its biggest sin, from what I'm gathered.
I think G3 is what ruined the image.
G3 is the one that, when people think of awful, they're really thinking of G3. G1 is just kind of there. And this is one of those things that kind of they lucked out, and that didn't outright kill the franchise right off disinterest right there.
Yeah.
But people are apparently attached to those characters. Some people are.
Well, there's also a bit of a nostalgia thing. For anyone who grew up in that era,
yeah,
they were going to remember them fondly.
Yeah.
Plus, the expectations were a bit different. We're looking at it now with what we know.
It's that whole thing of, just slap something together. Girls don't care. We don't care, really. Girls don't care.
Which I think G3 is probably more...
G3 is more guilty of that, but G1 also has shades of that. And,
yes.
Transformers from the same era, They bother to explain. They don't explain everything, but they bother to explain stuff. They like, these are the Autobots. These are the Decepticons. They've been fighting for millions of years, etc. You know, this is why they're fighting. They'll explain things. Even in the pilot. The pilot was a 3-part. Heck, this was a 1-part, half-hour pilot versus Transformers was a 3-part pilot. Again, they kind of cared more about the boy stuff than the girl stuff, and that's obviously changed a lot.
Fortunately.
So, yeah, it was very bland. They just didn't really put a lot of effort into it. It was like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It's good enough. So it's just very bland. It's forgettable. And the only reason we honestly should be happy it exists is because if it didn't exist, FIM wouldn't exist.
Yep.
So because of that, we have ponies today. So I guess respect the roots, but you don't have to watch them because, yeah.
Yep. I'll
might
agree
come
with that
back
one.
to G1 some point in the future, but yeah, probably just gonna be more of the, yeah, it's pretty bland.
Yeah.
Oh well. Such is life. Applejack is a silly pony.
Ooh, silly pony.
So yeah, that was Rescue at Midnight Castle in a nutshell. Bland. Okay. We also got a comic to talk about.
Yep.
It's issue 19 of the main series, part 3 of the Reflections arc. And this one is basically, you have, by the way, spoilers for the part issue 18.
Spoilers.
Which, by this point, come on.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
been out long enough.
we have to talk about, we have to spoil
They
the
even
first
hinted
two.
that in issue 17.
Yeah, Celestia explains how she fell in love with Sombra from this other dimension.
Yep.
And we also get this, oh look, this evil Celestia and Luna are now kind of gonna are listening into their plans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little difficult to, I guess, sum up compared to the other two, I think. Beyond that, it's just like there's explanations are happening. Well, Sombra's explained to the main 6, Celestia's explained to Luna at the same time, so in 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen the alternate main 6 in the main comics yet, which is odd.
Yeah, I would have expected us to see.
Overall, I want to know,
No.
what did you think of the issue?
I thought it was pretty good. I'm not actually going to put it up as high as the previous
Yeah.
one, because this was more just exposition, I want to say.
Yeah.
It was a bit more of that. It wasn't horrible. And I had a whole bunch of stuff in the background that was all funny.
Yeah.
But it was more just building.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, just building.
I think, yeah, compared to the previous 2, this one's not as good. This one kind of falls short of those 2. And I think the biggest problem is it's very, very wordy.
Yes.
It's just nothing but, they're talking about things happening, but a lot of it is they're not totally showing. Like, they talk about Chrysalis, they don't show her. They talk about Discord, they show them once. They just talk about stuff but don't actually show, and that's a problem. Right now they kind of fell in the trap of telling and not showing.
Yes.
Which is kind of disappointing because usually they're a lot better about that in these comics. I'm kind of surprised. I think this is just one of those, they kind of got stuck in a rut and they're like, okay, we got to get this sorted out first before we end it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the arc ends next issue. So they kind of, it's like, okay, you got 4 issues and oh crap, now we got to jam all this explanation to one issue.
I'm already feeling like this arc could have used more than 4 issues.
Yeah.
A slightly longer one to flesh things out a bit.
They should just, extend this one 2 issues, cancel the Trixie arc that's coming up.
I would probably be okay with that.
Yeah. But it still has some of the nice little background things you expect from Andy Price. Yeah, so like you see the possum again.
Yeah.
Evil Luna has a possum.
Yep. An evil possum.
Of course, an
Wears
evil
a
possum.
cape.
We even see, oh hey, evil Luna wasn't always so evil. That sounds familiar.
It's like an exact mirror.
Yeah, you can't really because the plot is so heavy, centered on just the explanation of Celestia and Sombra. You can't really go into that without spoiling things. But they do also talk about how we're going to stop the evil Celestia and Luna. But again,
I can't say how without spoiling it.
Yeah, can't really. There's a funny panel which has a whole bunch of stuff just talking about how this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff in the
kind
background.
of breaks the fourth wall, kind of hardcore right there.
Seriously hardcore.
But in a subtle way, it's just not like, I'm talking to you, reader, because that's really annoying when they do that.
If you're reading this, you're probably overthinking this comic.
Yeah, that's in there. If you're reading, yeah, kind of a dig at the fandom, but sometimes we deserve a little bit of a kick.
Yep. Apparently, the Equestria we know didn't have coffee at one point.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Huh. Well, it was explained earlier that
This is where they got coffee. It's from this world.
Yeah, as it was explained earlier that a lot of stuff came from other worlds.
Yep.
Because remember, Celestial's a big thief.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of interesting though. Yeah, they're still showing. Oh yeah, Starstral doesn't really see Celestia as an authority figure. Almost like he sees himself as a higher authority than Celestia, which is odd. When you think
That is a little bit odd.
And again, it's just another one of those things like
Celestia, let's get away with it. They have a very close.
Another thing this comic does is kind of like, oh god, you just caused a nasty little continuity snarl unless you resolve it because of what
they
happened.
lampshaded that.
Huh?
Pinky lampshaded that.
Yeah, I know.
Our world doesn't even make any sense. What is continuity?
What is continuity? Yeah, so yeah, continuity snarl is created. And it's like, yeah, just don't think about it too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, it's kind of like feels like it's a little. I want it to make sense. I want to make a little sense. It's a little.
Yep.
It's like, oh crap, Discord's. It's like there's that whole shipping thing of Discord and Celestia at the end of season 4, and
then we have this, and it's like
Celestia and Sombra, and oh dear. And it's, especially since Discord and Celestia apparently have support from actual show staff now, so.
Yeah, that's like,
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Maybe they'll have to close this.
But they're gonna close it somehow because you got two beings from two different worlds. And apparently it's dangerous for them to constantly travel back and forth.
Yep, it ties the worlds together.
Yep, so who knows? They'll probably resolve it somehow in the next issue. But yeah, the next issue is the conclusion.
Yep. See what it all comes to.
Again, if you're in, you're already in. You're going to buy this because you're already reading
it. I mean...
But just lower your expectations a little bit for this one.
Yeah.
It has to basically reveal a lot of information, and so it kind of suffers because it has basically been an information dump.
Yep. I'm willing to bet a lot of the information we got here is going to be necessary to understand the next issue, to really comprehend exactly what's going on, but they didn't have time to really flesh it out better, so they had to do a dump.
Sometimes wish the issues are a little longer.
Yeah, I wonder if there's actually a page limit.
There might be. It's
or is it just time?
It might be a page limit just because if you go over this, it's going to cost us too much. We have to charge more.
It also takes longer to do more pages.
That too. It'll cost us more to print. It'll cost us more because we have to pay you more, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. But I don't know.
But yeah, if you're in, you're already in. You're going to pick it up. If this is for some reason you jumped in the middle of the arc, don't let this one color. The first 2 issues are better. Well, this one's not too bad either.
Well, if you jumped in the middle of the arc, there's a problem right there. You should go back and read the first 2 first.
Don't do that. It's just, of course, it's sometimes difficult because, oh man, thank goodness this isn't like Marvel and DC where it's like you have to jump in the middle because otherwise you have to read 40 years worth of comics.
There's got to be like an abridged thing somewhere.
No, there's always a bridge thing. Just go on like a wiki somewhere.
Yeah.
Find someone who will sum it up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. Anyway, moving on from that. Because, yeah, I've been talking a lot.
You have been talking a lot.
We also got some fan content, and we have music to start off with, so I'm going to kick it over to Alcatraz.
All right. First one I have is a song by Hardtech. That's 2 A's, called Stay Strong. A pretty good prog house. It's a little bit softer than most prog house that I listen to, but I thought it was pretty good. What do you think about it?
It was okay. I mean, it's another song that it's like, how is this pony related? Because
it's an instrumental. It's an original instrumental.
The only thing it's like, there's a picture of Luna on the video, I guess, but yeah, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just it's a I can definitely listen to it and enjoy it, but it's a song because of its instrumental. It just feels like, this should be in the background while I'm doing something else.
Yep.
But
I do
otherwise,
like those, though.
It's a pretty good one. I would say so.
The next one I have is an acoustic cover called Fading Light by Chark's Destructor.
She said the magic never fades away, but neither does the pain. She said the magic never fades away, but neither does the pain. She said the magic never fades away, but neither does the pain. She said the magic never fades away, but neither does the pain.
This is an acoustic cover, like I mentioned, of a song that he did earlier that he's releasing on an acoustic EP that's out now. I thought it was really good. I love the acoustic style that he does. So what did you think about it?
I think I love this song. I'm not kidding. I really, really love this song. You actually can. I haven't heard the original, but
It's the original. I think is a bit more electronic type thing.
I read the description a little bit. So
Charax Destructor he does things different.
Yeah.
It's if you've listened to some of his other works, this does kind of tie in with some of his other acoustics.
Uh-huh.
But it's definitely his own thing. It's even his more semi-electronic ones. It's definitely kind of his own genre.
Okay.
This one it's about Immortality Blues.
Yeah.
Twilight
I
and the
figured that
Immortality
out.
Blues.
But
Yeah.
I really love this one actually, and honestly, I'm gonna just go ahead and say right now, it's probably my favorite of the music this week. And you can feel like the emotion from it. I mean, yeah, so it's one of those songs like I think a lot of pony music tends to be pretty upbeat and happy, the fan music anyway. And yes, we do get the occasional thing like, I don't know, that Forever Free Brony song, Chains of Immortality.
Oh, yeah, Chant of Immortality.
Chants of Immortality. Chains actually how it would work too. But anyway,
Yeah, Chant of Immortality. They did
Chant
a
of
while
Immortality
back.
is, but we occasionally get really like super emotional kind of, wow, that's kind of makes me feel bad.
I do think Charax Destructor, most of his songs really hit that. They have that emotional feel to it. Like I did mention, this is part of an EP he just released. It's got 4 songs on it, and it's Name Your Price. So go grab that.
Name Your Price.
I would recommend it.
Name Zero.
You can name Zero if you want to, but if you think it's good enough, you can drop whatever you feel like.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this a lot, so I was actually kind of surprised when I heard this one. So,
And the last one I have is a vocal original by Feather called City Slicker.
I don't got a care in the world. City slicker, raindrops, they bounce right off my back. I don't have to be that kind of girl. City slicker, raindrops, they bounce right off my back.
It's a cool jazzy feel about Coco Pommel. So
that's Coco Pommel.
Pommel, whatever you want to call it.
Coco
Close
Pommel.
enough.
She's gonna pummel you.
Pommel.
She's gonna pummel you.
Not pummel, Pommel is what I said. Yeah. I thought this one was pretty good, upbeat, jazzy, fun to listen to. What did you think?
This one is actually really good too. And again, it's just, I don't know. It's just you kind of get the idea. You kind of get a feeling of who Coco is, because she's kind of like, I guess, like Fluttershy, but not.
Yeah.
But she's so this was a really nice song to listen to too. I don't think it was as good as the Fading Light, but it was still a really nice song to listen to, and I was really enjoying it overall. I mean, I think there was a couple things. I'm not sure if I think it was actually. I thought initially it was clipping, but I think it was actually just the noise that was being used. This particular sound was being used. It just sounded kind of like clipping, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I've had those.
It's like I think it's like it almost sounds like a wooden block. I think, but it's initially like, is that clipping? No, it's the sound.
Yeah.
It just sounds like clipping. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I've had those.
But yeah, it sounds really
songs.
good. So just if you think it's clipping, it's probably not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so overall, yeah, this one too. I'd definitely recommend this one and Fading Light. Not so much Stay Strong unless you just kind of want something that can just be on in the background or whatever. But these two in particular, definitely listen to them both.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not as emotional as Fading Light.
No, this was a bit happier.
This is way happier. And even then, even happier. I mean, just motions in general. Fading
Yeah.
Light just really hits you, I guess, harder than this could.
Yep.
And it's still a really nice, fun song to listen to, though. So
This one isn't yet available for download. It
not
will
quite.
be.
It'll probably be there soon.
It's going to come out on an EP that Feather is doing.
When is that, though?
She doesn't have a release date.
Of course.
She's busy. She got hit with a whole bunch of stuff. But she put it out there to let people know, yes, she's still alive.
I'm alive.
She's still doing things. She still does plan on releasing the EP, and this is one of the songs that will be on it. So
Yeah, that download's not
hopefully when that comes out, that'll be good.
Yep. So
That's-
apparently, though, there's tabs and an instrumental version.
Yeah, she did
Okay.
release strings.
Strings, that's it.
Yeah, she releases strings, some of the different pieces of it. So if people want to remix it, they have the individual little pieces of it.
And
It's not the
vocals.
full song.
Yeah.
It's not the full song. It's like the melody, the some of the background pieces, some of the vocals, so people can remix it. But it's not the full song up for download.
Yeah. Sick. It's too bad because like if this enough was there, it's like just reconstruct the song from scratch. Well,
Yeah.
not scratch, but reconstruct. Oh, there we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's downloadable now. But yeah, I don't think you can actually do that.
Don't think so. I think there's some pieces
But that was
missing.
available, yeah. Alas. But you can come close.
Yep. And that's this music I have for today.
And I have a fanfic.
Yep.
Almost didn't though. This
Almost
is
didn't.
very last second edition. And yeah, it's because might see why I hemmed and hawed on this one, but yeah, it's called Upon Reflection by Obsolescence. If that sounds familiar, it's because I've featured this guy twice before. Once way back for a fic called Love in All Its Forms, which I'm not sure some of you might remember that one, and more recently, a Twilight Sparkle story.
Yep.
This kind of shows, this is a much sadder, I guess not sad, but
Deep.
it's kind of it's marked dark, but it's not dark in that, oh wow, that's really gory or really disturbing. It's more like dark and like, wow, it's actually kind of
It makes you think.
makes you stop for a bit. But basically it's Twilight's cataloging her adventures with her friends in other worlds, including Equestria Girls world and the world in the comics right now, and even a little bit of the comic world from Power Ponies. And she's just kind of cataloging, and she starts talking about, starts thinking about how things are different there and stuff, and then from there she starts thinking about how decisions are made were different and stuff, and just kind of stops and kind of has to think for a bit about it.
Yeah.
And again, I can't go too far
Without.
spoiling it, which I'm noticing is a trend now, but that sometimes happens. And I keep doing it to myself, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm curious, what did you think about
I thought it was pretty good. It's. I too have sat and thought about multiverse theory.
Yeah, it's multiverse theory basically. It's kind of goes through the implications of such a
The
thing.
existential, almost dread of multiverse theory, and how does that impact
You
you
and your life
free will,
and all that. Yeah.
meaning? Does it mean anything? Yeah, all of that.
Some people just shrug it off.
Some people don't. Some people shrug it off. Some people don't care.
Some people have to sit there and have
And
to
some people
sit there
really
for the
think
next
about
week
it.
for just thinking about it.
I thought it was handled very well, actually. I do like how they did the ending.
Yeah.
I
The
can't
ending.
say
It was,
But-
it was kind of one of the kind of expected based on the story.
based off of what they were talking about, how they did that. I was like, huh.
Yeah, it's
that was-
expected, but it's still kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I really so Obsolescence. I guess I'm starting to become a fan because This is the third time I think that I've never done that before. This is the first author I've featured more than twice. So that's a little scary, and I'm trying not to do that too often. That's why I was so hesitant, was because I didn't want to feature him again or her, whatever. I didn't want to feature Obsolescence again because I've already done so twice. But it's like they were long enough ago. I could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't really ignore it and watch as Equestria Daily posts this like tomorrow, the day after we record or something, the day we post this online. Just watch. If that happens, I got to
Again.
it first, Cal Payne.
But yeah. They're a really good writer, I will say that.
Yes. And this is different because this is totally different in tone from a Twilight Sparkle story.
Yeah, which was a
Totally
lot
different.
more humorous and bouncy.
But it's very similar in tone to Love in All Its Forms, which is much darker, although that was much more a sad, kind of tragic thing versus this, which is just more of a, okay, I got to sit and think for a couple seconds.
Just gotta kind of get up,
Let it
walk
simmer.
around, and just think for a bit. Yeah.
So
And
so
I do
go-
like stories that do
It
that.
kind of,
so.
and it's kind of, the way it handles it is kind of different. I actually read another fic which actually had a brief talk about this whole multiverse thing, and it handles it very different. It's kind of it's just kind of the contrast of how they do this. It's like that one, like Twilight's able to just accept it's a thing and not really worry about it. And this one, she kind of sits there and kind of thinks about it for a bit and goes, "Oh my god."
Yep.
So it's very different. It's like, and what's weird is both of them felt very in character. It's just this one she was on her own versus another one she was actually talking to someone else, or someone else who actually kind of cared about it a little bit more than Spike.
Yeah.
So
Spike just wanted cookies.
Yeah, Spike just wants cookies.
Which isn't a bad thing. Cookies are good.
But what if he didn't want cookies in another universe?
Ah!
Yeah. What if we're not doing this podcast in another universe?
According to multiverse theory, there is an infinite amount of us that are not currently recording, and there are another infinite amount that are.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's one of those best not to think about it.
Yes, I have thought about multiverse theory before.
Well, almost all of us has once we hear about it once. Almost all of us, I think a little bit about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into that.
So, yeah. I recommend checking that out. I babbled on long enough about it, I think.
Yep.
I babbled on long enough in general.
Yep.
I'm going to keep babbling.
Yep.
How about that?
Babble.
But, okay, well then, but not yet. If you enjoyed this episode, you can listen to it and past and future episodes at pony411.libsyn.com. All of them there. Downloads. Nice. YouTube.com/pony411 if you prefer a streaming non-download format. Or if you maybe you do want to download anyway, you can go somewhere else. iTunes, search for Pony411. We're all there. You can subscribe and it'll auto-download every single week when we release. How about that? Or another way to do it is Ponyville FM every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're there. That's where for now, for the hiatus, that's where we're premiering every week, in case you didn't know. And we'll, shortly after it premieres on there, we'll put it up for download. If you want to contact us, you can email us at pony411podcast@gmail.com. And you can also, so you can complain, criticize, complain about loud noises that were accidentally left in during editing, like last week.
Yes.
Sorry about that, everyone. If you're listening in Ponyville FM, I'm very sorry if I hurt your eardrums. That was a mistake.
Oops.
If you want to also possibly yell at us, you can also do so on Facebook, Pony411. Like us there, please. There's no dislike button, so you can't do that. Or you can tweet us. We're at Pony411. Or if you want to get a little personal, we're also having our own individual Twitter accounts. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. He's at Alca7raz with an underscore at the beginning and end, and a 7 instead of a T. You need to change that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all the ways you can find us and whatnot, I believe. Yes, that is all our download methods and our contacts. You can tune in next week. We'll be doing something else. Not totally sure what. Well, no, we're not sure quite yet what we're going to do, but I think I have a very good idea. I think you'll like it. We'll try not to jump into the past again for a little while, hopefully.
Let's not dwell in the past for too long.
Yeah, I think we should look towards the future.
Oh boy.
Until then, from now and always, don't forget, please pony responsibly.